We started incorporating the first product, BTN, probably around 2007 when we started using it on a regular basis.
The biggest improvement we've seen is in the root zone. A lot of our high stress areas, hot spots that we would have in certain areas, we noticed a noticeable decline of hot spots. It definitely helped with the color because we were able to get more product out and take less time doing it, and we were able to keep up with it as opposed to going through an influx of color and growth and then a slight decline because we couldn't get around in enough time.
Here in the Vegas Valley, we need to get a lot of iron out, and we had to do that through multiple applications because we didn't want to black track the grass or turn it off color. We found out by incorporating BTN that it buffers that iron, and we can put a lot more iron per load, and it reduces our manpower, how long it takes to spray the golf course multiple times, the interval at what we spray, and it's just been a really good product for us.
We were spraying every day and still not being able to keep up with it. Once we made the switch over, it was a lot easier for us to get more iron out, which required less applications. Instead of going every day, we'd get things done in about 4 or 5, take a break, be able to go back out a week later and hit them everything again another 5 days.
Instead of doing 2 or 3 applications to get the same result, we're doing 1 application. And we have gone at some pretty high rates with the iron, and have seen no ill effects to turf, no black tracking, no streaking of the grass.
The spray tank does 5 acres, and what we do is we put 10 gallons of the BTN in. We put 2 bags of calcium nitrate and 1 bag of ferrous sulfate iron. We always put the BTN in first, so the water's pre-buffered, then the calcium nitrate, and then finally the iron.
All the products that we use out here, that's a foliar application. We make sure the turf has a little bit of moisture in there, but we never water anything in. These spray rigs put out 1 gallon per 1,000 square feet.
We used to black track our greens just from the iron not mixing properly. Some greens would be darker than others, and we found that by putting the BTN in, we almost eliminated black tracking on our greens.
We had a lot of problems with the amount of iron we were putting in there, our nozzles clogging. Well, we've added the BTN, and it buffers all that, and we have no problem with our nozzles clogging. BTN also buffers the salts. Even though you still see the salts in there, you still see the bicarbonates, we don't see it in the tissue samples. So we're buffering the water, but we're encapsulating that salt. We're mining it out of the soil with this product.
We made an application, a test plot on our nursery green late December of 2010, and within a week we had seen an immense increase in color. We came back 2 weeks later and pulled a soil sample, and the roots were already, you could definitely see an increase in the root growth on the sample compared to the area that wasn't treated.
Not only is it a good fertilizer, but if we use it in conjunction with other fertilizers, we're getting a lot more bang for our buck. We're getting a lot more vigor out of the grass. Our color's better, our salts are lower, and it's just an easier product to maintain.
Using the yard feeder, we found some pretty good root enhancement as well as water penetration. We can run through a 5-gallon yard feeder tank in around 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We can get around the golf course easily within a day. You can usually see pretty quick results with the product.
We're just wetting down the green with the product. There's no rhyme or reason to it. He's going to get all the green basically the same amount. It doesn't matter if you get a little bit more or less in other areas. You're going to see results throughout the green. You're not going to get any modeling of your greens. You're not going to have a flush of growth here and no growth here. Within 3-4 days, you're definitely going to see a green up. If you continue on this program, your root system, the density is going to be 2-3 times better than it was. We've had some golf courses that we've used this on where it's hard for us to take a chlorification out because the roots are that thick. You're not going to see a lot of drop in the pH once we get it down to that 2.6, 2.4, 2.2. We know that we're going to be out of the BTN. Every once in a while we're going to go ahead and measure it again. Once it starts getting into the 4, the 5s, and 6, we know that the majority of the product's already out in the green. By that time, the entire green has been watered. Of course, there's different sizes of greens out here, but we put about 15 to 20 minutes on each green. We have a couple guys doing it, and we can get 30, 40 days out of it.
During the summertime, when during the stressful periods where you've got your isolated dry spots and paction problems, when you guys send people out there to go and hand water the greens, one of the benefits to using the yard feeder tank is to be able to go out there and feed the green at the same time and loosen some of those spots up as you're applying the product. When using the yard feeder on your cleanup passes along your edges, you're able to go in there and hit those a lot harder in there and get a little more result over there with the yard feeder tank and spraying it than just doing a foliar wrap.